Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 20. So, what did I think about this week's episode? This week's episode was awesome. I think it was a nice change of pace from all the depressing stuff we've been seeing, back to back. First Nanamin's dead, and then now, obviously, Nobara's death in last week's episode. So, I think this week's episode, it was a nice change of pace, getting us back into the hype and, the great action sequences and awesome fights, and keep it more lighthearted. I mean, it was still, pretty sad. There was very depressing, sad elements in this episode. But overall, I think it was a lighter note. So I think that was a nice change of pace for all of us, because I think we've been suffering enough in the last couple of episodes. Now, before I go any further with this week's episode, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Jujutsu Kaisen as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really, really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. So this week's episode already starts off, I already knew, we were in for something because we already start off by getting us a flashback of Nobara, Megumi, and Itadori, back in their simpler times. And it was a nice little gag about like how I guess Nobara spilled coffee on Gojo's shirt and they're trying to clean it, but it doesn't work, and this shirt is like super expensive, so now they're like screwed. And Gojo eventually comes in there, and I guess they tucked in Gojo's shirt in Megumi's like uniform, so make it seem like it was his fault. And it was very lighthearted, but very simple, very lighthearted. And you're like, oh man, I love these guys. Too bad that one of them died. Because we cut back to reality and we see Nobara's just like lifeless corpse, it looks like. She's like, she just looks dead, like pretty much. And Itadori's devastated. My man is, hyperventilating. He's gone through it. Like, he's already had to deal with what happened in Shibuya, with, the people that Sukuna killed, Gojo being captured, Nanami dying, and then Nobara dying. Like, he's just at his breaking point. And it's very depressing, it's very sad. And one thing I want to bring up is that I see a lot of people online, and I have seen people just in general clown on, Itadori, just calling him like he never takes a W, he's just constantly like taking L's, he's just crying a lot. It's like, look, listen guys, he's not the strongest and all that. It's like, listen guys, he's just a dude. At the end of the day, he's a dude that got brought into this world of the Jujutsu sorcerers, and he's not the strongest, and he shouldn't be. I mean, he's just a dude, like I said. And imagine put yourself in his shoes. I think we all would be crying left and right if we had experienced even a fraction of what Itadori has been experiencing thus far. So I just wanted to give some respect and love to Itadori because I think he's a great MC, and I think he deserves more respect than I've seen people give him in the last couple of episodes and whatnot. Now, continuing on, we see that Mahito, the little slithering snake that he is, he tries to be Randy Orton and just hits, slithers right behind Itadori and gives him a nasty black flash. And you see that, it keeps getting worse for the good guys, because we see that Mahito keeps adapting and keeps getting stronger, it looks like, because he's able to deliver black flashes left and right now. Or not left and right, but he did one in general. And that's something that, we haven't seen a curse do that in general. So that was very crazy. And then we see that pretty much Itadori just looks like dead inside, and Mahito is just like, yeah, dude, you suck. You crying all about like, oh, you killed so many people, or I killed so many people. But let me ask you, have you ever counted how many curses you've killed? And he throws that at Itadori's face, like, we're great for each other. We're each other's foils. So this is awesome, and I gotta beat you. You thought this was just a battle? No, it's war. This war will settle who's gonna be the ruler in the next 100 years. And so it got really personal between these two, and we always know it's been personal, like a rivalry, but it got even worse because Mahito really brought that up in this week's episode, like, their dynamic and whatnot. And going forward, as it looks like Itadori is going to be killed by Mahito, because Itadori is not even fighting back. Who steps in to save the day? That Giga Chad, he's back. Besto friendo, my brother Toto, he shows up, and my man, big wrist left and right, my man just projects wrist. And my man just he shows up and he tells Mahito, like, I ain't letting you beat my brother up. I'm gonna step in there and I'm gonna get him back in his group. And he talks to Itadori, and Itadori, you see Itadori and he's like crawling in the floor, like just he's super depressed, and I mean I can't blame him. And Toto really helps him and get his group back, because he tells him like, listen, I know that you must be feeling helpless and everything, but remember, this is for us as the sorcerers. This is the life we chose, and it's our duty to live on and keep fighting for the people that we have lost. So do it for Nanami, and eventually Toto takes the initiative and he's like, I'm gonna fight Mahito, and then you see Mahito and him have a little fight, little back and forward fight. And as strong as Toto is, he can't really do a real damage to Mahito, because we know that he has to hurt his soul. So he's just, to be honest, he's just kind of stalling, because as strong as Toto is, and he's giving Mahito a run for his money, all it takes is Mahito to touch him and that's it. But Toto knows that, and he keeps clapping and he keeps dodging Mahito's attacks. And as that happens, we eventually see that, thanks to Toto, Juji eventually gets his group back, and he gets, a nice black flash into Mahito, because what happens is that we see Toto's little helper guy. I guess his ability is that he can stop people's injuries from going farther. So it doesn't heal them, he just stops them at their tracks. So it stops the bleeding, it stops whatever. It just puts you in a state stalemate. So he tells Itadori, like, listen, I could help Nobara, but like I could fix her up, but she'll still be like, she doesn't have a pulse, and she's not her heart's not beating. Like, her heart's not beating and she's not breathing. So for all I know, she's dead, but maybe I could stop it. I don't know. Like, it's better than a 0% chance. Like, you don't know. So I'll give it my best, and that's what motivates Itadori to be able to get back into the fight, and that's how he delivers that black flash. And Mahito was shook. He's like, oh man. And as continuing on from there, we cut back to a completely different character, Mia. We haven't seen her in a while, and we catch up with her, and you see that she has a very emotional talk with the Mekamaru, the one that the little messenger that has been guiding everybody. And you see this very heart-to-heart conversation where Mia is just like, why didn't you tell me about this whole thing? And he's like, when you want to protect some people, because she's like, why didn't you send me to Shibuya? Could it help? It's like, no, like, is it because I'm useless? And then he's like, no, it's not that. It's just that, I care. There's a girl that I care about, and I don't want her to get hurt. And even if she doesn't care about me that way, like, I love, like, pretty much just saying, like, I did it for you, like, and you can genuinely see these two had a connection. Whether it was definitely from Mekamaru's side, he loved her. As for Mia, it's still very unclear, but I like to think that she also had those feelings for Mekamaru. I mean, she's always very friendly, but I like to think after this week's episode, there was really something building between these two, and it's a shame because it will never be able to come through fruition now. And she's very sad, and it was very heartbreaking. You see even an image of like an imaginary Mekamaru, like his soul talking to Mia, and yeah, overall it was just back to the depressing stuff, guys. Sorry, it's not me. It's just great. It was great writing, great to see Mia, and it seems that they're heading towards Shibuya from what the looks of it. So we're gonna see how that goes down, because the reason that Mekamaru only informed Toto and them is because they had Toto had a 99% chance of surviving. So he's pretty much saying the rest of the school trash. All of y'all are trash. So no, I just thought that was funny, because even one of them mentions like, so what, we're not good enough now. But yeah, that little section of the episode was really nice, especially for me as character as a whole. And how we end the episode is we see the fight. We continue the fight between Toto, Itadori, and Mahito, and you see they're having a back and forward, and eventually you even see at one point Juji throws a rock, and then Toto transfers himself into the rock, but that was like a super high speed momentum, and Toto delivers a black flash because of it, and it was incredible. Like, my man was supersonic. Like, my man was, like yeah, he looked like a fighter jet. Like, he just passed the sound of the sound barrier, whatever. My man was zooming. And how we end the episode is how we see the three of them, Mahito, Toto, and Itadori, as well as they all seem to have unlocked, their full potential, or surpassed their full potential, because they go 120%. And you see the three of them ready to square up, and they're like looking at each other, staring at each other. And Mahito summons all these curses, and it seems like they're all gonna go all in now. Like, they all elevated themselves to a newer height. So yeah, that was epic, and I can't wait to see how we go forward from here, because this episode was phenomenal, and I can only assure you guys that the next episode, as the fight continues, will only get better. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Jujutsu Kaisen, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you just have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.